Nicole Shanahan not playing around at all, warning senators they better confirm RFK Jr. or else.
Hey everyone, tomorrow is a pivotal moment in our nation's history. At 10 a.m. Eastern Time, RFK will sit in front of the Senate Finance Committee for his confirmation hearing to be our nation's next Secretary of Health and Human Services. I urge everyone to call their U.S. senators over the following days and demand they vote yes on Bobby's nomination. He is more than qualified. He's proven, principled, and prepared to lead. I'll share a list below of key senators. If they represent your state, they need to hear from you. If they don't, please call your own senator and ask them to vote yes. We need as many votes as we can get. So this hasn't been widely reported, but in 2020, I cut large checks to Chuck Schumer to help Democrats flip 2 Senate seats in Georgia from red to blue. The 2 candidates I helped elect, Senator Raphael Warnock and Senator John Ossoff, please know I will be watching your votes very closely. I will make it my personal mission that you lose your seats in the Senate if you vote against the future health of America's children. And more than that, I also want to say to Senators Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, Lisa Murkowski, Susan Collins, Bill Cassidy, Tom Tillis, James Lankford, Cory Booker, John Fetterman, Bernie Sanders, and Catherine Cortez Masto, this is a bipartisan message, and it comes directly from me. While Bobby may be willing to play nice, I won't. If you vote against him, I will personally fund challengers to primary you in your next election, and I will enlist hundreds of thousands to join me. Big Pharma and Big Ag have exploited us for far too long. It ends now. You're either on the side of transparency and accountability, or you are standing in the way. The choice is yours. Please choose wisely.
Nicole Shanahan coming out with some fire, telling everybody we're not playing around. Okay, this is bipartisan. We want everybody to be healthy. I don't understand why we have people like Caitlin Collins who just want to bury their head in the sand on all of this stuff constantly. It's never ending. Here is what that sounded like yesterday when they had on Steve Witkoff, I believe, on CNN. No, this was actually a while ago. All right, so we're not going to play this clip. This was an older clip, 6 days to the election. It's an older clip. But this was a clip when Caitlin Collins, we'll leave that for later if we have time. You know, they're constantly, this back and forth when this debate comes up, it's constantly about basically defending the pharma companies. Like, they just don't even want to ask questions. Vaccines are safe. Everything's safe. Just shut up. Stop asking questions about it. So, of course, that was the conversation. That a lot has changed now. He is now in the White House, and Caitlin Collins is still doing her thing at the failing CNN. But there was another question. So we've got 2 days of RFK hearings coming up. And the question is, why 2 of them? Here is what Mark Wayne Mullins said about this, because we should also have some hearings tomorrow. But tomorrow we've also got Kash Patel and Tulsi Gabbard. If this is anything like the Pam Bondi hearings, we also had 2 days of those, but Pam Bondi only testified in the first hearing. She then had witnesses come out and communicate to her about her in the second hearing. And so let's see if that's what this is.
Hey guys, I've been getting a lot of questions about my good friend Bobby Kennedy Jr. on why he's having to have 2 hearings and most everybody else only does 1. It's because of the uniqueness of HHS, Health and Human Services. It actually falls underneath 2 jurisdictions. It falls underneath Health, which is a committee I sit on, and it's Health, Education, Labor, and Pension is what that stands for. And then also Senate Finance. The reason why it falls underneath Senate Finance is because of the reimbursement, like Medicare, Medicaid, those type of agencies. And they actually have primary over him. So what he does is he's going to do one with Senate Finance as a primary. They're the ones that actually confirm him. And then he does a courtesy with Health, which is the one that I sit on. So that's why he's having 2 hearings instead of 1. They're not being unfair to him. It's the way that typically all the Secretary of HHS has done in the past.
All right, so that's Mark Wayne Mullins explaining how this is all going to go down. And this is going to be interesting then. So we'll have 2 sets of questions with him today and tomorrow. So that means tomorrow is just going to be jamming with 3 different folks all sitting for confirmation hearings. So this is what another senator, Roger Marshall from Maryland, had to say. Or maybe he's from Kansas. He's just a doctor. Here is his response.
Look, if you agree with Bobby Kennedy that America is not very healthy right now, that 40% of Americans have a chronic disease, our children, 20% of them are on some type of prescription drug. There's a mental health explosion in our young children. So I think Bobby just needs to share his heart. He needs to share with America why this is so important to him and really disarm some of the false issues out there. Like you mentioned, he's not anti-vax. He's pro letting parents understand exactly what's in those vaccines, letting that decision between the doctor and the patient to preserve that very precious relationship.
All right, we're going to hear from RFK Jr. today. Apparently, he's going to come out and say he's not anti-vax. He's in favor of them in certain circumstances when things are safe. Fox News said, here's the scoop. Trump HHS Secretary nominee RFK Jr. is going to stress he's not anti-vax. He is just in favor of safety. This is an exclusive. They say they've got his early statement saying, I want to make sure the committee is clear about a few things. News reports have claimed that I am anti-vax or anti-industry. I'm neither. I'm pro-safety, Kennedy will say in his opening statement. The statement was shared with Fox News. If confirmed, is going to have control over 18 federal agencies, CDC, FDA, National Institutes of Health, and the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid. And Kennedy, whose outspoken views on Big Pharma and the food industry have also sparked controversy, will emphasize he's not the enemy of food producers. American farms are the bedrock of our culture and national security. I want to work with our farmers and food producers to remove burdensome regulations, and that would be good for America, right? So we can unleash American ingenuity and have a functional and healthy country. Now, the hearing is also going to happen on Thursday. Kennedy served for years as chair or chief legal counsel for Children's Health Defense nonprofit organization. After Trump's convincing November election, Kennedy said he's not going to take away anybody's jabs, okay? If you like your jab, you can keep your jab, right? Like your jab, you can keep your jab.